Right now, the challenges law enforcement along the Wisconsin-Illinois state line are facing after our neighbors to the south legalize recreational marijuana. And months after a devastating fire, an update tonight from a popular deli on the east side as it prepares to open again.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Eric and Charlotte have the night off. The moment law enforcement agencies along the state line have spent months planning for is here. Today marks the third day of legal marijuana in Illinois. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter has covered this story since the beginning of last summer. Joins us now from our bureau in Janesville with the impacts so far. Adam?
Yeah, Danica, well, it's only been a couple of days since those recreational sales have kicked off. We've already seen how dispensaries in Illinois are attracting people from our side of the state line. Lines out the door and down the street as dispensaries in Rockford opened their doors Wednesday morning. And the first in line,
trying to be number 1 versus number 10,
was Danny Connors, who came all the way from Madison, which to Sheriff Troy Knudsen came as no surprise.
I think that's exactly what we anticipated, is that Wisconsin residents would be going down there. And that is, of course, the concern that we've talked about for quite some time.
Despite the large crowds on opening day, Knudsen says things on this side of the border have been relatively quiet, with just 2 marijuana citations. And the challenge coming in determining whether or not the drugs came from Illinois or here in Wisconsin.
We want to look for receipts. We want to ask them where it came from, and hopefully that'll give us some idea whether this is just the local problem that has existed for many, many years, or if this is related to this change across the border.
Now, all eyes turn to South Beloit, where a full-service dispensary is expected to open in the coming months just past the state line. And while that might be good news to those like Danny Connors,
when they ask me, what's it mean to you coming so far out, it means I don't have to look over my shoulder.
Knudsen says he hopes people understand the consequences their actions could carry.
I think people are hearing the message that it's legal down there, but it's not legal here. And hopefully they're exercising some discretion on not bringing those controlled substances back and not driving under the influence.
Today I spoke on the phone with South Beloit Mayor Ted Rail, who said it will be a couple of months before that dispensary there is up and operational. Now, Sheriff Troy Knudsen says it will take more than a couple of months, maybe almost more than a year, before they can really tell what kind of impacts the legalization in Illinois will have long-term on folks here in Wisconsin.
Certainly a challenge for law enforcement regardless. Adam Duxter reporting from the Rock County Bureau tonight. Thank you, Adam. Also announced today in Rock County, officers from the Beloit Police Department will participate in the Rock County Impaired Driving Enforcement Task Force. They'll take part in that effort tomorrow, Saturday the 11th, Friday the 17th, and Saturday the 25th. During those times, departments involved emphasize this is a no-tolerance type of patrol when it comes to driving under the influence. A hostage situation in Rockford, Illinois has come to an end tonight. Police say for more than 6 hours, an armed robbery suspect held a woman hostage inside of a credit union. Officers first got this call around 2:30 this afternoon. Then just before 9:30, the suspect surrendered without any further incident. The female victim was taken to the hospital to be evaluated for any injuries. Be sure to tune in to News 3 Now this morning, Saturday, for the very latest on this situation. A former New York City education official is out on bond here in Wisconsin after he was arrested for alleged sex crimes involving children. 39-year-old David Hay is required to stay with his parents in the Green Bay area. Federal prosecutors officially charged Hay after they say he used a dating app to set up a meeting for sex with someone he thought was a 14-year-old boy living in Neenah. That person was actually an undercover investigator. Hay faces charges for using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime and possessing child pornography, both at a federal level. To weather now, a dwindling chance for winter-like weather tonight and tomorrow morning. Gary Kelty has the very latest in your first alert forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Still have some light snow over southwestern Wisconsin, but the snow will be ending later on tonight. I don't even think any of it will linger into tomorrow morning. You can see the light snow over southwestern Wisconsin. Light snow falling pretty steadily over parts of Crawford and Grant County. Farther to the east, though, a few flurries making it about as far east as Madison. Visibilities right now at or above 10 miles, about 2/3 of our viewing area. But out to the west, we're seeing visibilities down to 3/4 of a mile in Prairie du Chien and less than 2 miles in Crawford and Grant counties, where some light snow is certainly sticking to the ground. Temperatures right now right around the freezing mark. Here in Madison, we've been around 31 or 32 over the last few hours. By tomorrow morning, we'll be down to around 26 degrees. Look for a partly sunny day tomorrow. It'll be pleasant with a high temperature of 34. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes high temperatures around 40 and some wind for Sunday.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Gary. The big national news of the day comes out of Washington. The U.S. will send thousands of troops to the Middle East after a targeted airstrike killed a top-ranking Iranian general. The decision marks a new escalation in Washington's conflict with Tehran, but the president says he took action to stop a war, not start one. Skylar Henry reports.
President Trump spoke on camera for the first time about ordering the drone strikes that killed Iran's top security and intelligence commander.
Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him.
The U.S. had been tracking 62-year-old Qasem Soleimani for a number of days and decided to strike in Iraq. The general was the architect of decades of terrorist actions in the region. The U.S. blamed him for a rocket attack that killed an American in Iraq last month and for last week's attacks at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad.
What the United States did yesterday should have been done long ago.
Evangelical supporters cheered when the president addressed the deadly action at a campaign event in Miami.
As president, I will never hesitate to defend the safety of the American people.
The president remained at his vacation home in Florida as the strike unfolded. He ordered the operation without congressional authorization, and lawmakers are divided in their reaction. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell said Soleimani had operated for too long without constraint.
I'm encouraged by the steps the U.S. military is taking to defend American personnel and interests from a growing Iranian threat.
Democrat Chuck Schumer said no one should shed a tear for Soleimani, but questioned the long-term fallout.
This action may well have brought our nation closer to another endless war.
As Iran's supreme leader vows revenge, the U.S. is sending about 3,000 more troops to the Mideast and advising all other American citizens to leave Iraq immediately. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Presidents George Bush and Barack Obama had also considered killing Soleimani, but ruled it out to avoid a potential war with Iran. Meanwhile, following this assassination, major U.S. cities, including New York City, are taking immediate steps to protect key locations, although there are no credible threats right now. The NYPD commissioner said this morning that, quote, developments abroad are forcing the department to ensure the safety of New Yorkers. Iran is reportedly vowing forceful revenge in response to the killing. As you heard, a number of lawmakers are reacting to the president's orders and his decision to bypass Congress with this airstrike. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson said in a statement that Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism and that it's time for the country to de-escalate and end its terrorist acts. In a statement herself, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin acknowledged that General Soleimani, that is, was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans, saying it's good he's gone, but she wants the president to explain to Congress and the American people his plans to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East. The Senate is back for the new year, but lawmakers don't appear to be any closer to an agreement on the impeachment trial procedures. The House passed 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump last month on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has suggested the question of calling witnesses should be settled after a trial has already begun.
Senator's role in an impeachment trial is nothing like the job of jurors in the legal system.
He's essentially proposing to conduct the whole trial and then, once the trial is basically over, consider the question of evidence. That makes no sense. That's Alice in Wonderland logic.
Democrats say new reports have bolstered their requests for additional witnesses and documents. The latest include emails from budget official Michael Duffy, which were reviewed by the national security blog Just Security. The emails appear to link President Trump to the order to hold military aid to Ukraine. Car owners will want to listen up to this one. Madison police have a new warning tonight about parts being stolen, particularly if you drive a Prius. There's a nationwide trend to get valuable metals from a part in that vehicle called a catalytic converter. The price of the metals found inside the part has recently skyrocketed, resulting in an increase in thefts. More than 500 flight attendants and other airline employees are suing Land's End, claiming their uniforms are causing significant health issues. Those Delta employees are listed as plaintiffs in the suit filed here in Wisconsin. They claim the clothes they've been required to wear at work since May of 2018 tested positive for chemicals like formaldehyde and mercury and led to problems like difficulty breathing, fatigue, and rashes. The Dodgeville-based company says it doesn't comment on pending litigation. Madison police are still asking for your help finding a 13-year-old girl who has been reported as a runaway. Anaya Coons was last seen December 19th. Officials believe she could be with a woman in the Madison area. Coons could also be going by the last name Ruiz. Area doctors are reminding all of us to get our flu shot and wash our hands diligently as the CDC reports a high level of influenza-like illnesses here in the state. Wisconsin's Department of Health Services released new numbers today that show more than 450 hospitalizations and 11 deaths due to complications from influenza. Medical experts here in Madison predict the flu season will get worse before it gets better. On average, it lasts 4 to 12 weeks. There are 2 new Madison locations where you can safely dispose of leftover or expired medications. A release from the Dane County Sheriff's Office and Safe Communities says you can drop prescriptions off at the lobby of the Public Safety Building and the 6th floor of the City County Building. These are the first ones to be placed downtown. Medications that are dropped there are incinerated and kept out of waterways. This also ensures that they don't get into the hands of people who struggle with addiction. Stolze's Deli on the east side says it is getting ready to reopen after a fire this summer. The deli posted this picture here on Facebook today saying the drywall is finished and the hood and bread ovens are being installed next week. They have their sights set on an early to mid-February reopening date. Back in April, you may remember kitchen towels covered in cooking oil in a mesh netting spontaneously combusted, causing significant damage to the deli on Atwood Avenue. Well, still to come tonight at 10, we look ahead to the first full week of the new year weather-wise and whether it'll actually feel like winter around here. But first, a construction project will kick off in a few months along Fish Hatchery Road that will have a major impact on your day-to-day travel.
For an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather.
Drivers, you want to listen up to this. Fitchburg is preparing for a major construction project on one of its most heavily traveled roads, and it's expected to take 2 years. Starting this spring along Hatchery Road, all lanes of traffic will go down to just 2. The $22 million project will impact about 8 intersections. Under this plan, crews will repave the roads, install new traffic lights, add some plants and decorative elements, replace retaining walls and storm sewers, and upgrade pedestrian and bike infrastructure.
Not going to lie, it's going to be probably the worst that you've ever seen traffic on Hatchery Road.
That's not what you want to hear. Engineers say this road has not had work done like this since 1992. This project was originally only supposed to last a year, but it was $5 million cheaper to stretch it to 2 years. Anyone looking to get rid of their Christmas tree has one more chance to have it picked up by Madison street crews. The first round of curbside pickup was yesterday, but there is one more opportunity on January 21st. To make sure your tree does actually get picked up, you must remove all decorations and place it on the terrace or road edge. If you are looking for some fresh fruits, veggies, cheese bread, your local farmer fix, the Dane County Farmers Market is kicking off its late winter market tomorrow at the newly renovated Garver Feed Mill. It used to be held at the Madison Senior Center. Anyone coming out is asked to bring their own cash and their own tote bags. The market runs from 8 until noon tomorrow. The Packers are headed to the playoffs, which means scammers will be eager to trick you all out of legitimate tickets. The Wisconsin Better Business Bureau is reminding everyone that those criminals will target fans looking for a good deal by offering counterfeit tickets online or selling tickets that don't even exist. So be leery if you come across super low prices for great seats, third-party sellers with no guarantees, or phony websites that look legitimate. What you can totally trust is legitimate. Gary Kelty's First Alert Forecast. He joins us now with that, and we're kind of dodging. I see your face. Well, I'm telling you the truth. It is legitimate, and we all believe it.
Right. Well, and you know, the thing is, a lot of times people look at the radar, for example, and they'll see snow, and they'll expect it to be snowing, but it all depends on whether or not that radar beam is looking where it's looking at the
is
snow.
That the case tonight?
And that's the case tonight over southwestern Wisconsin. Some of the snow reaching the ground, some of it is not. Now here in Madison, we've actually dropped below normal for snowfall for the season. Remember, we were so far above after that very snowy October and November. We had over 7 inches of snow, but for December, just a little over 2 inches of snow. And now for the season, we're at 18.6 inches. Normal to this time is 18.8 inches, so 2/10 of an inch below normal. But remember, last year was mild in December. First half of January was very mild and quiet. But then we had 2 straight days where low temperatures hit 26 below zero, and then it was off to the races between snow, ice, and bitter cold temperatures. Tonight, the snow showers are already starting to wind down over southwestern Wisconsin. The heavier bands of snow have stayed just out to the west in parts of Iowa. A lot of reports of slippery roads there, but the snow should start to taper down and end after midnight. There are winter weather advisories to the west of southern Wisconsin over parts of eastern Iowa. Those will run into the early morning hours on Saturday. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It'll be pleasant for tomorrow. Skies will turn partly sunny. Temperatures will be in the middle 30s, almost 10 degrees above average. It'll be mild for the weekend as a whole. In fact, on Sunday, I'm looking for high temperatures that'll top out around 40 degrees, but it'll also be windy on Sunday after some morning flurries. And over the next 10 days, every day, expecting temperatures to be above the average high temperature of 26. We've had 16 consecutive days where temperatures have averaged above normal, and it looks like we could see another 10. That means almost 4 weeks of seeing above normal temperatures, and the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center points to that trend continuing. You can see above normal temperatures expected over much of the eastern half of the country, below normal temperatures out west, and above normal precipitation, especially just to our south and east, but much of the country expected to see slightly higher than normal chances of above normal precipitation. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Still not seeing any snow flurries on the lights of the Capitol. High today 37, the low 31. Temperatures have been around 31 or 32 all evening. We're at 32 now with mostly cloudy skies and the air is calm. Temperatures this afternoon climbed into the upper 20s to around 30 in northern Wisconsin. Milwaukee hit 40 elsewhere. Everybody was in the mid to upper 30s. Right now temperatures are around freezing here, but skies are clearing out to the north and temperatures are a little bit colder up near Lake Superior. Forecast overnight, Expect the snow showers and flurries mainly west of Madison to come to an end. Low temperature dropping to 26, and tomorrow will be a partly sunny and pleasant day with our high temperature topping out at 34. On future track, temperatures dropping to the mid-20s by tomorrow morning. Skies turn partly sunny with highs in the mid-30s. Tomorrow night, we'll see more clouds toward morning. Low temperatures dropping into the mid-20s, and you can see maybe just a quick batch of flurries on Sunday morning. Then we see sunshine return, and high temperatures get back up to around 40 degrees with the sunshine in the afternoon. 7 to 10 day forecast temperatures again above normal every single day. Even the coldest days, Tuesday and Wednesday, high temperatures around 30 when the average high should be in the mid-20s. 42 on Thursday with some rain showers and not a lot of precipitation in there, maybe some rain or snow by the following Monday.
Yeah, that's been kind of the story of this last month, right?
So far, you know, I mean, after the October and November, things have settled down.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
The Badgers at Micah Potter's old stomping grounds. Highlights from a big road win next in sports.
Well, the Badgers men's basketball team looking for a big signature win this season. Wisconsin did beat Tennessee on the road last week, but the Volunteers had just dropped out of the AP Top 25. So enter the former team of Micah Potter. Ohio State ranked 5th in the country. First half here, Brevin Pritzel doing what he does best, dropping threes. Pritzel ties up the game. He had 9 points off the bench. In the second, Nate Reavers with the ball to a wide open Kobe King. Can't do that to him. King with 13 points tonight. Badgers down 3. Now check out Tyler Wall. Get used to hearing his name. He's a true freshman, had an excellent game defensively. Nice little jumper here 4 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Under 2 to go, Wall getting doubled sees Reavers open, and the Badgers take the lead. Reavers led the team with 17 points and 9 rebounds. The Badgers upset the Buckeyes 61-57 the final. Wisconsin with its first AP Top 5 road win since 2016. On to the other big story of the day. Not a huge surprise, though. Jonathan Taylor has officially declared for the NFL Draft. He made the announcement earlier this evening on social media, and it's really hard to pinpoint just one of his accolades in his 3 seasons at Wisconsin. But he did set FBS records for rushing yards in all 3 years, and he's the only player in Wisconsin history to be named a unanimous first-team All-American twice. And in his post tonight, he thanked his coaches and his teammates.
I would cherish the brotherhood and the friendships and the bonds that we've created through these 3 years. To the fans, thank you for making Camp Randall electric every single Saturday. To my family, thank you for the continuous support through everything. I may be leaving Madison, but at heart, I'll always be a Badger. Thank you, and on Wisconsin.
Now, there were a few calls that Paul Chryst was visibly not thrilled with in the Rose Bowl, including this pass interference call on Danny Davis. So one optometrist in West Allis, he's got a solution for that. Dr. Eric Knight posted this letter to NCAA refs on Facebook offering a free, no strings attached, comprehensive eye exam, saying that eye care is very important for your overall visual function. Okay. David Bakhtiari, the lone Packer on this year's NFL All-Pro list, noticeably left out Aaron Jones, who's tied with Christian McCaffrey for most touchdowns in the league. Anyway, Jones says he's not worried about what other people think of him because they got a playoff game to get ready for in 2 weeks. The Packers have a first-round bye this week, and no matter who they face, Aaron Rodgers says he's confident they'll find a way to win.
There was a good run there where we were blowing a lot of people out, especially at home in the first half. This team has found a way to get it done in a different way, and that's kind of been playing smart football in the fourth quarter and character wins, at those times. So I feel good about the kind of team we have and kind of guys we have and the ability to win in the fourth quarter.
And bowl season continues to wind down today. Check out the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, of course, in Boise, Idaho. It is Ohio University and Nevada. We pick it up in the third quarter. Ohio up 2 scores on the pitch to DeMontre Tuggle, and Ohio will win this one to 30-21. And there is no better way to celebrate anything in life, but especially the Potato Bowl, than a French fry shower. Whew. We'll be right back.
Some light snow over southwestern Wisconsin. Looks like it's starting to shift toward the south now. Visibility is still between about 1 and 2 miles over southwestern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now in the lower 30s, and look for high temperatures to be above normal all the way through the end of next week.
We are not complaining about that. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.